the authorities make the environment safe for people to celebrate their stand on an issue, whether it's Linas or whether it's anti-Linas or whether it's, you know, to support freedom of expression or other issues, it also means that the atmosphere is also safe for journalists to report what's happening out there. Yeah, so I think that's a very important point for us to remember. If it's not safe for people, it's also not safe for journalists, because journalists are part of the community. There is a particular responsibility that journalists play in terms of relaying what happened on the ground to the people out there, to the masses. So that needs to be respected, the role that journalists play. Unfortunately, in the incident at the fracas in Penang, that was totally not the case.
Do you think journalists should react to the attack? Or how should they react to the attack?
That's a tough question. I think
actually under the law you've got the right to defend yourself. When you face an attack from somebody, but your defense must be justifiable.
Could I add something? Yeah. I think sometimes we forget that journalists, apart from playing their role as a journalist, are also human beings. If human beings are attacked, it could be, you know, a natural reaction to fight back or something. Having said that, that is why it is important for the authorities to ensure that journalists are able to do their work, to report in an environment that is safe. Yeah. So if you find in Malaysia, it's only recently that the National Union of Journalists actually came up with a handbook to talk about safety for journalists while covering issues that could potentially have violence. So areas of conflict, you know, places in Somalia. We've had a journalist die last year in Somalia. So we can see where it's supposed to be a space where there is celebration, people are happy, there are balloons, children are there. So for example, something like anti-Linas protests, that kind of celebration needs to be seen as such. It shouldn't be seen as a threat to public order. Part of the problem is that the authorities don't look at these celebrations as celebrations. They look at them as, you know, being anti-government, being anti-business, being anti-a lot of things, when actually it's a celebration to take a stand on an issue that is very important to you. And the journalists, of course, will need to report on that. Yeah. So that needs to be paramount, I think. That's the bigger question that we need to ask. I think sometimes it depends on the journalists and the journalist groups that you speak to. Some journalists take the stand that journalists are actually free to wear whatever color they want, to promote issues that they want. So if a journalist takes a stand in terms of, like, they may be wearing the color of that particular rally, for example, say Choon Ing for Bersih or green for Linas, then that is, you know, in some ways, that is a chance that they take. I think we need to be, when journalists do their duty, they also need to be clear the role that they play. Yeah. But having said that, I also think that even whatever color they wear, there should not be violence against them. That's the bottom line. Thanks.